listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ken Lawler. You are joining us today either in the LOZ app, you're watching this video, or you might be listening to us on KRMS radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11. We call it the Big Simulcast. We love our collaboration with KRMS radio. And by the way, you can go in the LOZ app at any moment, hit the media button, and be listening to all the different stations over at KRMS, whether it's sports or rock, or you want to listen to news talk like we are on here. It's great. We love our collaboration with them, and we really hope that you're able to enjoy the different stations over there as well. Today, I've got a friend on here, and he's not just a friend, but he's a gentleman that is so involved at Lake of the Ozarks. If you've gone to any event, any Lake Chamber event, any special event, you'll usually see him there. He might be taking pictures. Gerry Phillips, welcome to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hey, Ken. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the invite.
Yeah, you know, Gerry, you're everywhere, man. I don't know how you sleep. I go to a lot of functions at the lake, and every one that I'm at, you're at, and I know you make more than that. Why is it so important for you to be so involved at Lake of the Ozarks?
Well, number one, I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy, collaborating with people, connecting people, and that's just something that's part of my DNA. I love Lake of the Ozarks. I remember when I graduated from Camden in 1982, I didn't share the desire to get the heck out of Lake of the Ozarks like, almost 80% of my graduating class. And that continues to today. And I still don't get it. I like spending time on the water, but I don't spend a whole lot of time on the water. Always look for opportunities to do that. But I don't water ski. I don't do any of that stuff because I don't have the agility or the flexibility, especially not anymore, given the fact that I'm 62 now. So everything has its limits on my body anymore, and they let me know. So, but I sleep really well because I wear myself out, and but I enjoy it. In fact, this afternoon I'm getting prepared, my smoker prepared. I'm going to be smoking brisket and pork because I've got two big open houses coming up Saturday. I'm going to be in St. Louis and Columbia Friday all day. And going to go see my manager up there that in Chesterfield. So yeah, I'm going to be all around. I mean, I love the St. Louis market because that's a big pull to Lake of the Ozarks, and so I'm getting to know a lot of people from that St. Louis, the Cottleville, the St. Charles, Chesterfield, St. Louis, that sort of stuff. That area well to where I can welcome and help them do the things they want to do at the Lake of the Ozarks, because it's not just mortgages that I have contacts all over the spectrum of people who can help others that are relocating to the lake or want to do something at the lake. So
yeah, and it's so special that you grew up there and you stayed there. Back in a day when it wasn't really conducive to staying there. We don't have. I mean, the lake has grown by so much in the last decade. And again, as we have to mention, you're a loan officer with First State Bank Mortgage. They have an office at the Lake of the Ozarks. They have an office in Kansas City. They have one in St. Louis, a couple other places as well. But you can help anybody with the mortgage needs they have. And if somebody needs a mortgage, and being a local lake expert there helps you, gives you an advantage to really help them get into their either condo or their home. And I know that there's rules changing even on condos right now. You got to really keep up with it, don't you?
Oh yeah. It's something. Given the fact that I've been in just mortgages since 2000, I've been able to change and adapt as changes occurred, and as events, economic global events have occurred, and because that all, just like the Iran conflict, when that happened, it didn't take a week for rates to jump up 0.5 to 0.75%. And that's a shock. We were actually getting to a point where the affordability, you could feel it. Because rates were getting into the fives, even conventional stuff. And then that whole Iran thing happened. And so now we've had to be really creative. A lot of people have stepped back, and it's just waiting for that whole thing. And I don't know how much you want me to get into, but what I believe is going on is never let a good crisis go to waste. That's what's going on right now, because things were really coming down and rates were coming down. And then all of a sudden, February 28th happens, and then boom. So, but again, you just have to you get creative and listen to people, and put together and craft a thing that a loan program, that because there's lots out there to work with, and so it's just a matter of finding that just perfect notch niche for them, for those
Yeah,
people.
and you get to work over there with my buddy Dan Simpson. He's been a longtime friend of the LOZ app. He supports us on our app in St. Louis. You guys sponsor my show that I do in St. Louis on AI on KTRS. So I mean, lot going on there. You're with a really good organization, but you do more than just work down there. I mean, you are a Rotarian member, and by Rotarian member, I don't mean you're just a member that shows up to meetings. You're really involved with the Rotary down there, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah. I am trying to focus on just a few particular things, but my role, which I love bringing all the clubs. There's 4 clubs at the Lake of the Ozarks. There's the Camdenton Club, and then the Lake Ozark Noon, and Lake Ozark Daybreak, and then Lori Sunrise Beach, which is my club that I belong to. And the assistant district governor kind of is a piece that is supposed to bring everyone all together and kind of walk in step with respect to Rotary goals and that sort of thing. And so that's what I started a year ago, and I really like it. And so I can be helpful there to the to leadership that comes in and help people get more aligned with Rotary and its service above self. And I put something together for in 2025. There was over $200,000 between the clubs that were donated to local charities. That just scratches the surface as to what this group does. I mean, that doesn't count the scholarships that go out and everything else. So there's a ton of stuff that Rotary does, and you can pick and choose how deep you want to get into it. I was starting to get probably too deep, and it was eating up a lot of my time. So that's why I do the sporting clay tournament that we do, the Rotary Power Force sporting clay tournament in June. It's the Father's Day weekend, so June 19th, 2027. Put it on your calendar. And I do the ADG, which is assistant district governor, and then our for sale Stover Satellite Club. We have one up there, a great group of people.
The other thing I think that is interesting, and I love the way you do this, is, you are really an ambassador for Lake of the Ozarks in a lot of ways. You go out to all the events. I see you at the Lake West, West Side Socials. I'll see you at the different chamber events. I'll see you at really anybody who's doing some kind of social. You usually try to get out there, and you don't just go out there, but you're posting about it. You're taking pictures. You're sharing out. I love that. With the LOZ app and the LOZ app podcast, we focus on local, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that people who are at the lake get full advantage of what's going on at the lake. And I think a lot of times people forget that these are real people with real families who own these businesses, who are trying to make it. And some years are great and some years aren't, but they stick it out every year and do their best. And I just feel like we need to keep all the money we can local, support local. And look, let's face it, there's going to be national companies that come in. There always are. The bigger the lake gets, it'll happen. But there's a lot of really good local people that you go to church with, that you see out there in public at the ball games. It's really important to you too, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is, and the saving grace on some of these national companies coming here, they do hire local people, and so I always try to look at the bright side and the side of things on that. But we do have a lot of local companies who do the same thing as these national companies do, and a lot of times, you got to look at it and you got to figure out which one works best for you, because a lot of times those local companies can have a little more flexibility on what they do and can pull together for you. So it's not always bigger or better. Bigger is better. Or sometimes less is more. And so I believe in that, and a lot of my posts and things like that I do. If you sit there and have a post that's this long, if you can't even see the bottom of it, and I just go like, oh my God, overload. So that's a lot with a lot of things that have to do with bigger is better. No, not necessarily. But with respect to the involvement in the community, it's just something that's fun. I love meeting new people, and I love connecting new folks and seeing. Oh, there's my dog. Or not my dog, my
Yeah.
wife's dog.
Well, you always post videos with the dog, taking the dog for a walk, so we get to
Yeah,
actually, feel like
toxic puppy.
the dog's a part of the program.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't plan on that. Wish I'd have swung the door. But anyway, no, it's something that I have slowed down on the photos of the socials, and I probably should pick that back up again. But I do my Facebook Live, for instance, tonight is the West Side Social at Tavern of Storia. That starts at 5:30. I'll probably get there early at 5 because I want to
Now,
get to the
I was
bar
told
before
it's
the
trattoria. I was told it's
Trattoria.
trattoria. That's what you come on, Gary, you know
I
that.
I try. I struggle through that every single time that I have to say it. But I think people get the point. Like, okay, he's butchering that, but yeah, he means this.
Well,
So,
John and Sherry have been so gracious in letting us have that over there at their place. It's an
mhm.
awesome event. Always, they're bringing good people. They raise a lot of money for charity. I love the West Side Social. It was started over at KRMS. Then the ball was kind of picked up by the West Side guys and kept it going. And I'm so glad they did.
Yep, and it was and I think you just sponsored. That was one of the better ones, and socials. They're all good, and then the food. John is just amazing with respect to what he can put together. I think he's a lot like my buddy Ron Dugan over at anything he cooks. It seems like he could make okra taste good, and I think John's that same way. He could make just anything taste good. And so it's just it's a delight to be out there.
Well, listen, man, I just am so glad we were able to have you on the show. It's you're a true ambassador for the Lake of the Ozarks. You're a professional. You do great work on the loan side for First State Bank. But you're a real community advocate, and that's the kind of stuff we love to celebrate in the LOZ app and the LOZ Podcast Network. I just want to thank you again for joining us this week, and maybe, who knows, maybe we'll start doing a segment with you on the LOZ Podcast Network. We'll think of some names, but it's very Gerry. I don't know. I'm coming up with a couple off the top of my head. So
Gerry with a G.
But seriously, thanks so much for joining us today, bud. I appreciate all you do, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's another episode of the LOZ Podcast Network, and we will be right back after these words.